My main goal is to eventually...
Hi, my name is Ken Lasterson. I wrote a microbiome prescription website, and I want to do a walkthrough of a very recent edition, all coming out of revising the symptom to microbiome association. It's something which I've actually been trying to crack for several years now, with not the best success rate, or at least not as good success as I want to. The last revision, the results coming out is looking, how should I say, particularly good, and I want to just take a quick look through all of the components. Now, the first thing is to be able to use that is going over to my symptom and add the symptoms for the sample. Key essential things. Has two advantages. One, it makes the website easier to use, and in some cases it's the only way certain features will show up. Everything is, it provides more data so we can make more discoveries. So it's a double payback. You get a easier site to use, and you also help with citizen science finding more information, which will be of interest to you because the symptoms you enter will be the symptoms that will help. So, first thing is my symptoms. If you haven't done it for your latest sample, do it now. Okay, so supposing that we have that, and this particular person I believe has, and what we're going to do is we're going to hop over first to research features, experimental version 2. Version 1 worked but not very well. Version 2 is much better. And if we go over here, we have same things. You need to make a change for the first page. And what we now have is we have automatically checked the bacteria which are connected in our associations with that. You can see how strongly it is and how it's associated. So we now know which bacteria. And you go to a different one and you get some other ones being selected. So you now have it. Now notice all of these, in some cases nothing happens. We were unable to get a good statistical association there, but in general there are a couple, not so much, and we have a good page of those items right here. So that is basically it, and you go there and you have everything there. But if you have a dozen or 2 dozen symptoms, that is a royal pain, and there's actually a shortcut, and I'll show you the shortcut. If you go back to changing my microbiome, and down here we have the hand-picked one, and we have management, which is list the ones you have. So if you click here, you see, whoops, got absolutely nothing. You go back and you do pick bacteria associated with your symptoms. You click that, and you notice I had 4 symptoms. And what we have here is we have listed the bacteria which are significant. 4 it goes down, and ones which are less significant. And the reason we refer to something as a hard or a soft is very simple. We have calculated the average for people with the condition, and we calculate the average of people without the condition. The result is a hard match. Your value is even worse off than people on average who have some condition. In other words, it's very strongly, you have shifted to be lower than a low average and higher than a high average. Nice and simple. Soft match means that we have the people without the conditions here, we have the people with the conditions here, and you fall somewhere between those two. Hard match is you're way down here, no question about it. Soft match means that you're between the two. If you are up above this level, then we ignore it. We don't bother saying anything. So now you can come down, you can see there are 2 bacteria which are particularly dominant, and then everything else there. And now if I wanted to, I can go through, and if I wanted to investigate or whatever, so what I'm going to do is actually uncheck all the ones because I want to be more focused and concentrated on the ones which are definitely the biggest impact. So we have that collection. Now we just say create a custom profile, and there's the bacteria we have. Now if you want to get suggestions, it's really easy. Just click here, goes over here, lists the stuff, and you get your suggestions coming up. Nice and simple, pretty straightforward. Okay, so that is basically it. It's very straightforward, clean-cut processing. Okay, I'll stop there. But before I go, I'll do a quick recap. Version 2 is different than version 1 because in version 2 we have the same collection of people with the symptoms, and in version 2 we use only the people who record symptoms but don't record that symptom. Version 1, you look at everybody else. The result is that meant the actual results were less likely, but we had a bigger sample size, twice the big sample size, 3 times the bigger. I thought that would get better result. It didn't. Second thing is that in version 1, I ended up using a z-score for how much weight to give to each bacteria, for how much to shift. Version 2, I went back to an older method where I looked at the distance of the shift, applied a what's called monotonic increasing function to it, and got a value. And now that new value, which is based on the difference, not just it's a function of the difference between where you want to be and where you actually are, is used for the weighing of the different bacteria and thereby the suggestion. So those are the 2 key changes. The control group changed and the weighting mechanism for getting suggestions changed, hence difference of result. So that's basically it.
And then Venice happened, and we were all